So to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, Disney are currently building the TRON Lightcycle Rollercoaster at the back of Tomorrowland at the Magic Kingdom. So let's check in on all of the progress of this attraction up next. Hi there Waltoneers, I'm Jack. This is of course DSNY Newscast, and let's get straight into it. As in the past year, we've been very focused on all of the other big projects that will be opening in time for the 50th anniversary. Chief among them being the Guardians of the Galaxy rollercoaster over at Epcot, and now the newly announced reimagining of the Wonders of Life Pavilion as well. But really, despite the celebrations being resort-wide, what Disney are really celebrating is 50 years of the Magic Kingdom, and they supposedly have many smaller rumoured enhancements planned for that park, which we covered back in February. But the big new addition for the anniversary at the Magic Kingdom will be the TRON Lightcycle Power Run rollercoaster that is being built to the left of Space Mountain. But up until now, not much visible progress had been made on this attraction, as Disney had to expand the current area and prepare the ground for construction and build water retention ponds nearby, as was specified in the permit filing with the South Florida Water Management District back in 2017. But now site preparation is finally taking place and starting to make some progress, as we can see here thanks to these incredibly useful images by BioReconstruct over on Twitter, that the initial phases of the concrete pour for the foundations have now begun, with the track support beams being fixed into place for this part of the attraction, which will most likely be the indoor show building segment. But as you can see, the actual footprint of this attraction over in Shanghai Disneyland is much larger than what has currently been completed so far in Walt Disney World, as from this aerial image we can see that most likely what we're looking at is only half of the show building's foundations, as this is seemingly confirmed by the permit filing as well, as you can see here. But the other thing to note here is that this attraction is going to sit at a slightly different angle from that of the Shanghai version, as that attraction is the main focus of Tomorrowland with the entire width of the canopy, whereas over in the Magic Kingdom the iconic view of the TRON Lightcycle Rollercoaster at night time will mainly be visible from the centre of Tomorrowland instead. And with all of this construction, it brings us to the effect that the arrival of the TRON Lightcycle Rollercoaster will have on nearby attractions, as at the beginning of this year the Tomorrowland Speedway temporarily closed for a 6-month-long refurbishment, with the expected reopening date being May 18th, 2019. But the main objective of this closure was to accommodate the amount of space that the TRON attraction will require within this section, as we can see here that the new track configuration is beginning to be formed. However, despite the Tomorrowland Speedway reopening with an unaltered theme later this year, reliable insiders are still indicating that a TRON-inspired overlay is still being planned for the 50th celebrations in 2021. And another attraction that will surely receive some alterations as well is the Walt Disney World Railroad, as it's currently undergoing a park-wide refurbishment of the entire track. And while it hasn't been confirmed officially by Disney, I would expect that there will have to be some sort of enclosure to the railroad track under the TRON canopy to help prevent an unnatural mix of the turn-of-the-century railroad design with the neon futuristic aesthetics of Tomorrowland. But this actually brings us to a rather interesting permit filing recently for a Project MK2 tunnel, with this either being for the railroad or maybe even for the additional berm work over to the side of Space Mountain. As we can see here, that walls are already being constructed, so this might be for additional show scenes for the railroad, or it might just be for some backstage access instead. But in terms of the TRON progress, we'll be seeing a lot more very soon, as last week cast members were invited to sign one of the first steel beams for the roller coaster, so we should start to see it go vertical within Tomorrowland very soon. And whilst we're talking about Tomorrowland, clearly the TRON roller coaster is only one part of a grander reimagining of this section of the Magic Kingdom, as Disney CEO Bob Iger did address this issue 2 weeks ago at the shareholders meeting.
We've been working with the Imagineers to consider a number of different concepts for Tomorrowland. They've got some great plans that we've recently reviewed, but nothing that we're ready to announce at this point. But expect that in the years ahead there'll be a lot of Tomorrowland activity.
So basically, this confirms what we've been saying for a while now here on DSNY Newscast, and that is that Tomorrowland is going to be receiving a lot of attention in the coming years. But if I were to hazard a guess at the direction that they might be going in, they might be drawing inspiration from the Shanghai Disneyland's multi-level kinetic environment that was designed by the Grimshaw architectural firm. However, all of these plans will surely reveal themselves in time, with the possibility of an announcement on the next phase of rejuvenation at D23 Expo in August. But now let's talk about the big movie news of today, as Pixar have finally released a full trailer for Toy Story 4 that comes out on June 21st. And to begin with, the tone and the familiar feel of the first half of the trailer did leave me a little underwhelmed, as returning to see these characters back in the same bedroom environment once again was a little nostalgic, but in my opinion, a sequel needs a lot more than nostalgia to warrant being part of such an iconic franchise. But don't worry, at 1 minute 25 into the trailer, Pixar completely flipped the script. And it does seem as if this final installment will have a very different theme and message to that of the previous 3 films that was centered around the toy-owner relationship. Whereas in this movie, it looks to be Woody's journey and the heartwarming romantic relationship between Woody and Bo Peep that will be the core of the movie. But what I absolutely love is that Pixar are breaking through traditional animation barriers and are supposedly telling a love story and journey of discovery with these beloved characters. And there are definitely scenes and dialogue within this trailer that really sell me on the idea that Pixar have chosen to tell a very different story that will surprise us all with just how much the medium has progressed. And if Tom Hanks and Tim Allen's statements about the ending of this movie is anything to go by, then I'm sure that Toy Story 4 will be pulling at the heartstrings of audiences all around the world for one last farewell to the Toy Story franchise. And whilst we're talking about trailers, how could we not mention that last week we received what will most likely be our last full trailer for Avengers Endgame, as in this trailer we saw some brand new footage that was purposely left out of the previous trailers, as Captain Marvel had not yet been released until earlier this month. Which, by the way, whilst we're talking about Captain Marvel, it has certainly proven to be popular amongst audiences, with its opening weekend worldwide box office being the 6th largest in history, with $456 million worldwide, which is absolutely amazing news for this first of many female-led Marvel movies as we enter the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But coming back to Endgame, not much more was revealed about how the remaining Avengers plan to reverse the effects of Infinity War. But we can see that they will be sporting all new gear, which many have speculated might be related to the Avengers having to enter the quantum realm and potentially go back in time to help reverse the effects. But with just over a month to go, we won't have to wait too much longer to find out the conclusion of this decade's worth of storytelling within the MCU. And lastly for today, we have 2 smaller Disney Park news stories that kind of follow up on previous topics that we've covered on Ratatouille and also Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. As on Sunday we received this concept art for a new creperie restaurant that's to be built as part of a Ratatouille courtyard expansion at the back of the France Pavilion, with this restaurant most likely being located at the far end opposite Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. However, on top of this restaurant offering full dining service, it gets better, as this new restaurant will also have a quick service window that will make it even faster for you to grab your crepe and go. And lastly for today, it seems that not a week can go by at the moment without us receiving new information all about Galaxy's Edge as we count down to the opening, as Disney released our first look at the Galactic Datapad experience that will be incorporated within the Play Disney Parks app. As within this Galactic Datapad experience, you'll have the abilities to translate galactic languages, both written and also spoken, and discover precious cargo, including items hidden inside of space shipping crates and containers. But where this app really comes into its own is that you'll be able to also tune into the communications sent by the planet's many residents to uncover the stories and secrets throughout the land of the citizens of Batuu. But probably the most exciting part of this whole Galactic Datapad is the ability to hack into the land's control panels and droids, so that as you walk around Galaxy's Edge, it will become a truly interactive experience. But now, it's over to you, Walton, as I would like to know if you could drastically alter the Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland in any way, what would it be and why? And that could be either removing, replacing, enhancing, or even reimagining existing attractions into entirely new experiences that will be even more timeless for Tomorrowland. And of course, don't forget to put the timestamp for where the hidden Mickey appeared somewhere within this video, along with your suggestion or your comment, to be in with a chance to win one of these official DSNY Newscast enamel pins. And congratulations to this Walt Disney here for winning this suggestion from a previous video where we were talking all about the future of Star Tours. And yes, I know I forgot to put the winner on the screen on that video for the Ratatouille video. So here, congratulations to this Walt Disney here as well for winning for that video on the Ratatouille Courtyard expansion and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. And so that's it for today. So go ahead and subscribe down below if you're new to this channel. Hit that notification icon so that you always receive an update when these videos come out on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And if you've enjoyed this video all about Tron, Toy Story and everything else, give this video a massive thumbs up as it really does help this channel out. And I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.